NBA 2K is one of the most prominent sports titles on the market, with over 2 million people who actively play the game each and every day, and a franchise that single-handedly made over $400 million. It would be assumed that the game would be in a great spot. The company continues to make money each and every year, and the overall active users continue to skyrocket. Even with numbers that are crazy like this, the overall consensus with those involved in the NBA 2K community is that the game is slowly but surely dying. How can a game with growth like this have such negative feedback? Why does the community feel that the game is dying, and exactly what can be done to stop it? One of the most influential factors to this is the rapid and constant rising cost of virtual currency, or better known as VC. Let's go back to NBA 2K14 for a second, okay? In NBA 2K14, it took around 65,000 VC in order to get your player to an 86 overall. As it currently stands in NBA 2K, it's costing over 65k VC alone just to get one stat up, okay? One stat on your My Player is costing 65k VC to max out. That is insane. In real terms, this is costing us around an additional $50 in order to get our player up to par to be able to play with, because as you guys know, you cannot go onto the game with a 60 overall. You're going to get blown out and absolutely abused. To make matters even worse, it's become nearly impossible to grind your player out from scratch, okay? You guys cannot play My Career forever and max your player out. They've limited the amount of VC that you're getting for that, and it's become almost impossible to do so. The prices per part game that you earn have dropped. The prices per My Career game that you earn have dropped. 2K has essentially forced us to pay up in order to stay up ratings wise in order to compete against your opponents. And on top of that, let's be real, the average person is not just making one build. In fact, 2K makes it nearly impossible to do so. With constant updates, threshold changes, and gameplay tweaks, it is almost impossible to have one build. In fact, 2K almost forces us to make new builds by dropping these gameplay patches. The money plus the time, energy, and effort that you're going to have to put into grinding badges, into grinding a new player out, into playing with them, all to just have to make a new player when 2K decides to make a tweak, doesn't really sit well with anybody, especially when you know that you're going to have to load up and put another $50 into a game that you already paid $50 plus the actual $70 that the game cost you for. Every single year, we're forced to pay more and more and more in order to play. You're no longer just paying $70 for the game, okay? The game price itself has gone up, but you're also paying $50 off rip because you need that VC, and you know you're going to end up paying at least another $50 to make a new player. So this $70 game has already turned into a $170 game, plus countless number of hours grinding players, plus countless numbers of gameplay changes, plus all that, it starts to really get frustrating. And while I could sit here and rip into NBA 2K's greed for hours, they are not the only ones at fault here, and their greed is not the only reason why the game is dying. Money aside, NBA 2K22 has actually been a pretty good game with very, very minor gameplay issues that were addressed and fixed immediately. Certainly, there should be more of a positive overall report with a game that runs this smooth and is this good, right? This is where I have to point the finger at the community, and yeah, I'm talking about you. Now, I know this part of the video is going to be a tough pill for a lot of you guys to swallow, but all I'm asking is that you guys listen and hear me out before you guys judge me. Maybe I can change your mind on something, and maybe I can open up and make you guys think about something that you never thought about before. We have to talk about social media, okay? Social media has played a huge role into why the overall view of NBA 2K has drastically gone down. When everybody thinks of the golden days of 2K, okay, take a second, think of the golden days of 2K. Immediately, your mind is going to go to NBA 2K15, NBA 2K16, and NBA 2K17. This is what majority of the community deems to be the greatest games in the franchise, okay? The GOATs, the greatest of all times, the Jordans, the Bradys, the Kobes, the LeBrons, the GOATed games are those three games. A lot of people beg, and I've even seen people plead that 2K makes these games and remasters them, and then for future games that they follow the same theme that those games had, copy the same jump shots, the same dribble moves, and try to make those games more like these older games. I dug into this a little bit deeper, and I started looking at other communities, and it's the same kind of theme for other communities. Best Call of Duty that their community considers to be in the franchise's history is Modern Warfare 2, so they kind of follow a same theme and pattern as us. Is it that games were just simply produced better back then? Possibly, but let's dig a little deeper. The emergence and overall use in social media has spread like a wildfire. Originally came about as something that was fun and used to pass time, has now become an immediate and essential piece of our day-to-day lives. Every second, 6,000 tweets are sent. Every second, 6,000 tweets are sent. And over 500 million tweets are sent per day. This number steadily increases year in and year out. In fact, we are at an all-time high with social media usage. While social media has been a fantastic and great tool, it's also been a tool that's been used to voice our frustrations with things. Let's talk about our GOAT 2Ks for a second. NBA 2K15, NBA 2K16, and NBA 2K17. When we start looking back on the numbers and we start thinking about it for a second, social media was not as prevalent then as it is today. The community was not as prominent, not everyone had a voice, and the only way you were gonna know if you had a problem with the game was if you actually experienced that problem for yourself. Nowadays, people rely on their favorite streamers, YouTubers, and content creators to formulate their opinions for them, hence the name influencers. They are influencing the way that you think. While these games were good, you have to question and you have to start thinking, man, what if everybody was on social media during this game period? Would I have noticed more bugs? Would more things have bothered me? Would there have been more gameplay problems that were more prominent? In fact, I can think back on patches and things that went on during these games that had we had social media during that time would have been a lot bigger of a deal and would have put a dent in their legacy. While we're on the topic of social media, and ooh, you guys are gonna love this one, it's important to note that nowadays when people play the game, they're not only just playing for fun anymore, but a lot of people want to do this as a job, okay? A lot of people want to be YouTubers, they want to be streamers, they want to be TikTokers, okay? And that changes your perception on everything as well. In fact, this is actually a fact. More people grow up now wanting to be a YouTuber or streamer than grow up wanting to be a famous athlete, astronaut, or even president. While you guys may not realize it, it completely alters your viewpoint on a game. In fact, the game is no longer about fun, it's about what type of success you can find in the game. Let's be real, you guys saw Woo walk in 762 in the comp stage making his TikToks, and now you guys are inspired. You want to be Woo walk in 763, and you guys want to make your own TikToks. The problem is when that does not immediately work for you, you guys don't get that instant gratification that we seek so badly as a society. And what that does is it extremely alters your perception and alters your overall viewpoint on something. You can't just enjoy the game anymore. It can't just be fun for you. You have to find success and you're craving that feeling. This is not something that's just occurring in 2K either. I'm not only pointing this out for 2K, but this is a problem that people are experiencing in general. Think about it, guys. People are not happy anymore, and that's a big reason for it. We are living in a society that is constantly growing more negative. Okay, it's growing more negative and we're growing unhappy. With all this being said though, what can we do to fix the problems? How exactly can we make 2K fun again? One immediate answer that I can think of is fixing the things that we can control, and that starts with our perspective. Naturally, we find it so hard to adapt to change. People literally hate change. As the years go on, we constantly cling to nostalgia. We'll go ahead and overhype things from the past that weren't even that good just because they were the past or because we consider those better years. Recognize that change could be great, guys, and it could lead to even better things in our future, okay? An instance for gaming, I know a lot of people are not enjoying the next gen versions of the game. They love the pie charts, they love the simplicity, they love clinging on to the old, but sometimes, guys, it's good to let go of the old and start progressing with the new. Change doesn't just come on us, and I'm not expecting us to be the only person that makes change. Another thing that needs to be done is we actually need to band together as a community and let our voices be heard. Like I said earlier, guys, there are 6,000 tweets per day. 6,000. We all have the platform to make change. You have the platform to make change. I have the platform to make change. And we are way more powerful than we understand. And when we work together as a community, we can see the change that we want to see. The fact that as a community, we've allowed 2K to make 85 overall, 200,000 VC, when only a few years ago it was 64, is actually concerning. As much as we tweet every day, as much as we tweet negativity, as much as we tweet about stupidity, the fact that we just allow this and we haven't banded together to solve this problem is actually stunning. We have the ability to save the game that we love, guys, I'm telling you. And all it's gonna take is a little bit of us working together fun and a little bit of perspective change. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video, man. It was a new one. I don't normally do videos like this, but I did want to do this video. I've been wanting to talk about this for a long time, so I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please smash that like button and sub to the channel if you're new. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section, and let me know how we can fix 2K together. I appreciate you guys watching, and as always, it's your boy Chalk. Stay tuned for more, and I'm out. Peace.